Okay, so welcome to the lecture. Today we will see on the topic of pulsed laser deposition, or we can say that pulsed laser ablation. In our previous lecture, we covered the topic of spin coating as well as deep coating method. And today we will go with the topic of pulsed laser deposition. First of all, I would like to say that pulsed laser deposition is a physical vapor deposition technique where a high power pulse laser beam is focused inside a vacuum chamber to strike a target of the particular material that is to be deposited. We can imagine that the figure here, in this figure. So here we can observe that the pulsed type of laser which is deposited onto the material, or we can say that the targeted material. Okay, and here in this side, here is our substrate located. In this area, our substrate is located, and whenever the laser beam or pulsed type laser beam was bombarded onto the target, at the same time some of the ablation was happening. Ablation means from the targeted material some of the particles was emit out, knock out. Okay, and at the same time the plasma was created. Okay, so whenever the laser beam was bombarded onto this targeted area, okay, onto that targeted area, at the same time what will happen here, the plasma was created. Okay, plasma was created, and from that targeted material that particle was emit out, and with the help of that plasma that particles was vaporized. Okay, the particle was vaporized, and that particle was goes towards the substrate direction. Okay, and simultaneously here the deposition layer was formed. Okay, so this is the short information regarding the pulsed laser deposition. Okay, so here we can observe that this transfer atoms from a target to a vapor to a substrate. Here we can see the figure, first figure. So what will happen? This is the targeted side. We have written here, this is the targeted side and this is the substrated side. Okay, this is the substrate side. And whenever the plasma or pulsed type plasma was bombarded or struck onto the targeted material here, at the same time some amount of atoms or some amount of target materials was fractured. Okay, and that lattice type of atoms, okay, get evaporates, because whenever the laser was bombarded onto the target, here the plasma was created. Okay, and plasma have some amount of temperature. Okay, so plasma have some amount of temperature, and due to that temperature range the atom gets evaporated, and same amount of atom was transferred. Okay, the same amount of atom, all the atoms are transfers towards the substrate direction, and that all the atoms was deposited onto the substrate. Okay, or onto the substrate of that particular surface. Okay, in this way. So this is this information, that circle information, which I have maximized on in the type of this figure. Okay, so pulsed laser deposition. With the pulsed laser deposition method, thin films are prepared by the ablation of one or more target illuminated by a focused pulse laser beam. Okay, so which type of target materials are required here? So target may be a metals, maybe a semiconductor. Okay, means if we plan to deposit a metal material or semiconductor material, so we can use the technique of pulse laser deposition. Okay, we can use the technique of pulsed laser deposition or pulsed laser ablation technique to deposit a metal of to target of metal or semiconductor material. Okay, so this material is vaporized. The targeted material are vaporized from the target, and which is deposited onto the thin film on a particular substrate, and therefore this process can occur in ultra high vacuum. Okay, this all the process are required a ultra high vacuum. Okay, so inside all the chambers which is totally evacuated by a vacuum. Okay, and we already learn about the vacuum system inside the chapter number first. Okay, so laser technique which is run by a ultra vacuum system, and the speed is approximately 10 nanosecond. So that type of laser are required. And vacuum is why vacuum is required, because atmosphere to ultra high vacuum or inert gas. So maybe inside the atmosphere there are number of other molecules are present, and due to that other molecules it may be possible to moisturize the targeted material as well as substrate also. So this process can occur in ultra high vacuum or in the presence of background gas. Okay, that's why I have written inert gases. Okay, background gas means sometimes the vacuum is not required, sometimes inert gas, that is the argon, krypton, xenon, radon. Okay, that type of gas are required. Okay, so that background gas such as oxygen also possible, which is commonly used when depositing oxide to fully oxygenate the deposited films. Okay, so this is the figure where the target we can locate it by using the rod, and this is the targeted material. As per our choice, we can put it the target such as metal, any kind of metal like silver, gold, iron, cobalt, nickel, or say if we talk about semiconductor material, so we can use as a zirconium, zinc, titanium, cadmium. Okay, or any other phosphor material we can deposit, or we can put it as a target material. And whenever the laser beam, or that is the pulsed type, look at here, this is the pulsed, this symbol indicates a pulsed. Okay, so the pulsed type laser beam, whenever that laser beam enter from that diaphragm or window. Okay, whenever that laser enter from that diaphragm or window, at the same time the laser was struck or bombarded onto that target, and at the same time the targeted materials, some of the atoms get knocked out. Okay, that processes, or that 3 or 4 steps we can discuss it in our next slide also. Okay, and here the plasma was created, and due to that plasma and laser, that lattice atoms gets break, and due to the plasma all the atoms are vaporized. And with the because whenever that atoms was vaporized and all this chamber was evacuated by the vacuum, so therefore that all the atoms get transferred towards the substrate side. Okay, as like a figure 1. Okay, which figure 1? This figure. This is the figure 1. Okay, so this is the process of pulsed laser deposition. Okay, so let's go towards the next slide. So gas and ultra high vacuum. are required. So what is the role of ultra high vacuum here? So the role of ultra high vacuum is, in a vacuum the plume does not expand unidirectionally. Okay, so the plume does not expand unidirectionally. So that is the case, sometimes ultra high vacuums are used. And second reason is the ejected species. So the ejected species means whenever the laser beam, whenever the laser beam was bombarded onto the targeted material, at the same time the species is nothing but atoms, or we can say that molecules are diffused in the plume and collide with each other, and which lead to the rapid thermalization of the particle clouds. Okay, and at the same time rapid thermalization was happening, and due to the thermalization the vapor particles get formed, and the same time the that vapor particles transfers towards the substrate direction. Okay, so why the other inert gas or natural gas are used? Because the ambient gas scatters and attenuates the plume. Okay, second reason is changing its spatial distribution. Third reason is that the deposition rate. Okay, we can maintain, we can manage the deposition rate as well. And last one is the kinetic energy distribution of the different species. Okay, so this is the important parameters or a term of gas and ultra high vacuum. So you have to remember these points also. Now, so what is the exact process was happening? What is the exact process was happening during the pulsed laser ablation time, or we can say that the pulsed laser deposition time? Okay, so look it into the figure for better understanding purposes. Look it into the figure, and the figure said and shows that the removal of all the atoms from the bulk material is done by vaporization of the bulk at the surface region in a state of non-equilibrium. Okay, it means this is the target, this is the entire target. Okay, and whenever the laser pulse was bombarded onto the target material, so some of the particles get fractured. Okay, and that fractured particles, so we can say that the atoms, and that atom get evaporated. Okay, but at the simultaneously whenever the laser beam deposited or bombarded onto the target material, so here is the plasma was created. Okay, so this is all, the entire parts is nothing but a plasma, and due to that plasma all that small atoms or small particles get evaporated or get vaporized. Okay, or we can say that the all the particles are vaporized, and all the particles travels toward the direction of substrate side. Okay, in this way all the particles are travels towards the substrate side. And here we can observe that this zone there are two particles or two atoms are deposited. It means other remaining atoms are in under process, and they are traveling towards this direction, and they can deposit onto the part of the substrate surface. Okay, and thus the transferring some of their energy to the lattice of the target. The surface of the target is then heated up and vaporized. So this is the whole process was happening during the pulsed laser deposition time or pulsed laser ablation time. So for better clarification, I will show you step by step processes. Okay, so initially what will happen exactly? The red mark is nothing but a laser pulse. Okay, the red arrow indicates a laser pulse, and this is the targeted material. This is the targeted material. Okay, this is the targeted material. Okay, so this is the entire target material, or a target material. It may be a metal or it may be a semiconductor, as we discussed in our earlier slide. Okay, so what will happen exactly? Primarily, the pulsed laser beam deposited or bombarded onto the substrate in this way. Okay, so in second stage, what will happen? Look at here. So here, so whenever all the laser beam was deposited or bombarded onto the target, at the same time the targeted material have some amount of atoms, and inside the atom there are number of neutrons, number of protons, number of electrons are present. Okay, and in each atom there are atomic orbital shell. Am I right? Am I right or wrong? Every atoms have a atomic orbital shell. Am I right or wrong? Every atom have a atomic orbital shell. Am I right or wrong? And each orbital shell there are number of electrons are present. Am I right or wrong? Inside the nucleus there are neutron and proton are present, and these are the atomic orbital shell where the number of electrons are present. Okay, there are number of electrons are present. This is the electrons, this is the electrons in each and every atoms. Okay, so in this way, if we discuss and if we look about this figure, so what will happen? There are various kind of excitation states or electronic excitation states are available, such as in every atoms there are one ground state and one is the excited states are present. So let us see, this is the ground state. This is the ground state. It means we can say that this is the ground state. Okay, this is the ground state, and this is the electronic excitation state. Okay, I have written here in this way. This is the electronic excitation state. So we can say that this is the excitation state. Okay, so what will happen whenever in every stage and every situation electrons are present in a ground state? Okay, electrons are always present in a ground state. So here is the electrons present, here is the electrons present, here is the electrons present. Okay, so it means the initial stage or inner shell stage, the electrons are always present. So it means the ground state, the electrons always occupied by the, okay, electron is always occupied inside the ground state. Okay, so whenever if we bombard the laser onto the target material, whenever if we bombard the laser onto the target material, such as laser is coming here in this way, and let us see, this is the target material, this is the target material. Okay, so at the same time that particular laser beam was bombarded and interacts onto that innermost orbital electron. Okay, so laser beam interacts with the innermost orbital electron, and at the same time some of the energy was deposited onto that electron, and due to that energy that electron gets knocked out. Okay, that electron gets knocked out, or maybe a excite. Okay, maybe unstable, and at the same time what will happen, here is the hole pair was created. Okay, and due to that hole pair the outermost orbital electrons are jump towards the innermost orbital electron. So this type of this type of information is nothing but a photoelectric, not a photoelectric effect. We can say that the scattering, yes, inelastic scattering. This type of process is nothing but a inelastic scattering. Inelastic scattering. Okay, but this is the orbital shell information whenever the laser beam interacts with the atom. But if we look about the ground state and electronic excitation state in this way, so whenever the laser beam was enter, I will show you here. Okay, so look at towards this figure, whenever the laser beam comes into the atomic site or targeted material, at the same time inside the target material there are various number of electrons are present in this way, 1 number, 2 number, or infinite number of electrons are present, and at the same time such electrons are excited. So that is the electronic excitation was happening in this way, an electron stimulated towards the electronic excitation side, or we can say that the not metastable state, valence band. We can say that the valence band to the conduction band. The electrons travels through the valence band to the conduction band, and due to that reason, the electronic excitation was happening. It means electrons are excited. All the electrons are excited toward this direction from ground state to the electronic excitation state side, and due to that reason this figure was happening. It means all the electrons are excited, okay, inside that targeted material. So in next stage what will happen, due to that electronic excitation, the energy relaxation to the lattice was formed. So lattice means there are number of other atoms are break, or we can say that targeted material, there are various number of atoms, various number of particles are present, okay, inside the targeted material. If we consider a copper material, so inside the copper material there are number of particles, there are number of infinite number of copper particles or copper atoms are present, so that we can say lattice, okay, lattice was break, a lattice was created, okay. So what will happen in fourth stage? So due to that lattice, and whenever the laser beam was bombarded onto the substrate, so lattice was formed and heat was generated. So due to that, heat diffusion was created. It means the particles are break. Particles are we can say that the particles are fractured, okay, and that fractured particles are converted in converted in the site of small, tiny nanoparticles or nano form, okay, and that melted particles. Here, look at here, melting all the atoms or all the targeted materials. A little bit amount of melting was formed because the heat was generated due to the laser and what the target material interaction, okay, and plasma was created. So melting means tens of nanosecond. This process was happening in terms of tens of nanosecond, and evaporation was formed. So plasma formation was created, and inside the plasma formation, that all the particles uh, which is available in form of laser, okay, which is available in the form of laser, that sorry, not a laser, lattice, which is transferred towards the substrate side. This is the entire plasma, okay, which is created with the help of interaction of pulsed laser and targeted material. So if laser pulse is long, which pulse? This is the long pulse. Long pulse means what? The WHM is very high, okay. WHM means full width half maxima. W width and half maxima is very long, so the pulse is long, or repetition rate is high, so laser may be contribute interaction, okay. So if that pulse full with हाफ मॅक्झिमा FWHM जर जास्त मोठा असेल तर इंटरॅक्शन व्हायला सुरुवात होते. कशाची? तर लेझरची आणि मटेरियलची. सो दिस इज नथिंग बट ए पल्स लेझर interaction processes. Okay, so we already discussed this figure. So how the plasma was created? So energy relaxation to lattice is approximately around 1 picosecond. Okay, so this is the targeted solid materials, and whenever the laser beam was interacts or deposited onto the substrate, so this process or this thing was happening, which we have already discussed. Okay, in this way. So the dynamic of the plasma. So material expand in the plasma parallel to the normal vector of the targeted surface towards the substrate side. Okay, so how the plasma creates and what is the role of plasma, that information I have already here. So the spatial distribution of the plume is nothing but this one. This is the plume. Which one? This is the entire plume. This is the plume. Okay. The spatial distribution of the plume is dependent on the background pressure inside the plus pulsed laser deposition chamber. Okay, so the dependency of the plume shape on the pressure can be described by the vacuum stage. Okay, so the plume system or plume we can manage by using the vacuum stage, where the plume is very narrow and forward directed. Okay, so the intermediate region where the splitting of the high and less energetic species can be observed. Okay, so we can say here and we can observe that red arrow indicates which one. This red arrow indicates a pulsed laser. This, okay, and the bottom side indicates a targeted material. This is the target material, and upper side indicates a substrate where we are going to deposit a targeted materials. Okay, so the high energetic species ablated from the targeted are bombarding the substrate surfaces. So ablation means to remove or to make a some amount of operation onto that target. Okay, so it may be cause damages to the surface by sputtering of atoms from the surfaces. Okay, so that targeted material are damages, and that damages atoms are started the sputtering processes. Okay, so sputtering of atoms from the surfaces. Okay, sputter. So this is the condition and this is the stage of ablation material. So after that, the nucleation and growth of the thin film was formed. Nucleation and growth of the film was formed. So the nucleation process and growth kinetics of the film depend on several growth parameters. So the process are included laser parameter. Okay, so the deposition growth rate. Which deposition growth rate? The substrate deposition growth rate, which is depend on the laser parameter also. Why laser parameter? Because depends on the pulsed width. Okay, how much amount of pulsed width are generated, and what is the height of the pulsed width. Okay, pulse width किती आहे त्याच्यावर डिपेंड असेल. So after that, surface temperature inside the chamber, how much amount of temperature is available, so that is also affected some amount of role. So substrate surface. Okay, so substrate surface is a very thin or a very smooth or not, that is also mattered. Okay, and substrate surface is can attract the targeted material or can attract the atoms or not. So which substrate we are going to use, that is also affected during the process of nucleation and growth. And last one is the background pressure. Okay, so types of deposition film, that is a two-dimensional monolayer. So there is no need to explain the monolayer, three-dimensional and multi-dimensional Eastland process, because we already discussed that concept in our first chapter. Okay, what are the advantages of pulsed laser deposition? Okay, so number one advantages is that after the preparation and after using the technique of pulsed laser deposition process, so the all these techniques are very flexible and easy to implement. Okay, so we can easily open all the parameters, we can easily deposit the target, we can easily mount the surface, we can easily apply the pressure, temperature also. Okay, so that is the very flexible and easy to implement techniques. Which technique? That is the pulsed laser ablation or pulsed laser deposition technique. Okay, so next advantages is growth in any environment. Okay, so we can use it as a vacuum environment also, or we can use as a natural gases environment also. So it is possible to grow any environment. Okay, it means we can use both the environment. We can use as a under the vacuum condition also, or under the environmental condition also. Third one is the exact transfer of complicated materials. Okay, so you can use any kind of material. So it is exactly transfer from target to the substrate side. Target to the substrate site. Okay. And fourth one is the fourth one is the variable growth rate. Okay, we can increase or decrease the growth rate as per our choice. Okay, as per our interest. Fifth one is the epidaxy at low temperature. After one is the resonant interaction possible. Okay, seventh one is the atoms arrives in a bunches, allowing for much more controlled deposition. Okay, so and last one is the greater control of growth. Greater control of growth. For example, by varying laser parameter. Okay, if we increase the pulsed, so deposition rate was increases, means the plasma generation was maximum. If we decrease the growth rate, pulsed beam, or if we decrease the height of pulsed beam, so growth rate is also decreases in this way. So what is the disadvantages of pulsed laser deposition techniques? So first one is the uneven coverage. First advantages is uneven coverage. So uneven coverage means it cannot be possible. It cannot be possible to deposit in a uniform site. Means all the substrate. Let us say this is the substrate. This is the substrate. So here maybe possible maximum deposition was formed here. Okay, and here is the small amount of deposition was formed. So uneven coverage. So that area was covered in an uneven site. Okay, not a uniform area was covered. After that, high defect or particulate concentration. High defect or particulate concentration. Not well suited for large scale film growth. Okay, because the chamber of that pulsed laser ablation technique is very small, a little bit small as compared to other facility. So due to that difficulties, not well suited for large scale film growth. Okay, we cannot mounted a large film inside the pulsed laser ablation technique. After that, the disadvantages is that mechanism and dependence on parameters not well understood. Okay, mechanism and dependence on parameters not well understood. Okay, so these are the disadvantages of pulsed laser deposition. So this is all about the pulsed laser deposition or pulsed laser ablation techniques. I hope that it might be clear the concept of pulsed laser ablation technique. If you have any query, then ask me. So this is the time for question answer session. This is the time for question answer session. If you have any query, then ask me. Okay, so today we will stop here. So see you tomorrow morning. Goodbye.